a day.
All right, bullish stocks, that's a big theme. Ben Bernanke also. Healthcare stocks and United Technologies problems. Let's dive in with our gurus. CNBC contributor, syndicated columnist Jerry Bowyer. Dan Fitzpatrick of Stock Market Mentor and senior contributor to RealMoney.com. And Ned Riley of Riley Asset Management. I just want to follow up. I can't help myself. Let me see. I'm going to throw this to Dan Fitzpatrick. I don't know if you ever read the New York Post. This guy running UT, United Technology, George David is his name, is embroiled in the most incredible. Every day in the New York Post, he gets a full page or two. He's got the ex-wife who is a Swedish model of some kind. He's got girlfriends around. He's flying here, flying there. How the hell can this guy run a company? I just want to rant a little bit about George David. I've been waiting for people to pull the plug on him. They report UT like this was a normal CEO. It's not.
Well, I wouldn't want him running my company, but I'd sure like to be invited to his Christmas party.
Oh, his parties are fabulous. There's no telling what happens.
I'm thinking, I'm getting a Dennis Kozlowski moment here.
Yeah.
But,
it's a Kozlowski.
Yeah, I mean, this, frankly, and I'm with you. I can't really speak to, his ability to run the company. That's way out of my league. But I will tell you this, a publicly traded company, why do you need a problem like that? There's got to be a ton of people that are just as qualified to run this company. I wouldn't want my CEO to be on the front page of the paper every day.
I mean, I'm surprised. This is a society story, but it's also a business story. Let's not get hung up on this.
Right.
Let's go to Ned Riley. Ned, you're our super 14,000 bull. Go ahead. Bernanke earnings, you're getting good numbers coming out. It's bottom line stuff, not top line, but help is on the way. What's your main case here, Ned?
My main case, Larry, is that the 10 years previously, we've had a miserable market. And I feel it's discounted virtually everything that we're seeing right at the moment. Second, asset allocation strategies. Equities as a part of portfolios have declined dramatically in the last 10 years. So people are really scared, but that's what you need at bottoms in markets. And I think you're going to get that as a power to get this market higher. Earnings haven't fallen apart. I mean, look at Apple's a great example, IBM, of companies that have been able to operate in the most miserable economic period I've seen since 1974. The liquidity out there is phenomenal. You know that as well as I do.
Forever, as far as the eye can see. Didn't Ben Bernanke basically say today, do not expect any change in zero interest rates, maybe in my lifetime, but as far as the eye can see? That's his basic message, right? He's targeting the unemployment rate. He doesn't give a darn about my King Dollar. He wouldn't give me the time of day on King Dollar. He wouldn't give me the back of his hand on King Dollar. He's going to target the unemployment rate. That's what he said. Now, at least in the short run, until the inflation appears, that's great for stocks, right? More money, more liquidity, more stocks.
More liquidity, more stocks. And the funny thing is right now, Larry, is that people are still so scared. They're hiding in the 3-month money. They're hiding in the 6-month money with no return at all. I've met many people who have said, where can I invest my money, but I want a higher return. When you start to look at everything else, I call this a regression back to the mean. We had a great period from 1982 through 1999.
All right, hang on.
Now this is a catch-up for the miserable market in the last 10 years.
Catch-up, maybe. Jerry Bowyer, I want to get to Dan Fitzpatrick to give the rebuttal to Ned Riley. But before I do that, Jerry Bowyer, healthcare, it's interesting. Steny Hoyer, Democratic Majority Leader in the House, says, nope, not before the August recess.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, nope, maybe not even after the August recess. I know that Merck reported very good earnings today, but health care was hot. And I just wonder if there's a connection as the nationalized health care bill goes down. Is it safe to buy these health stocks, drug stocks, HMO stocks, whatever?
Well, there's political risk there, but that's what's driving it right now. I mean, God bless the head of the Congressional Budget Office. What's his name? Elmendorf?
Elmendorf.
Who actually spoke truth to power, despite the fact that he's been appointed by the Democrats. He said this health care bill is going to add $1 trillion in cost. This thing is a budget buster. And that man stopped the health care plan.
Right.
just by saying that one guy, that one brave voice. Now, they'll come back and they'll try again, but I don't think they're going to do it until after the recess, as you said. And this strategy of putting out the budget outlook, delaying, saying, oh, the dog ate my homework, the budget outlook won't be ready.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go ahead and vote on the health care thing.
The dog ate my homework.
Right.
Isn't that a funny thing? They're all kind of waiting on that. So, Dan Fitzpatrick, let's go back to the main chance. Why is Ned Riley's 14,000 wrong?
Well, it's funny because you're asking primarily the technician, but let's put it this way. Fundamentals do matter. And we've had two bubbles, you know, the equity bubble, then the real estate bubble. I'm not really seeing the third bubble anywhere. And ultimately, I agree with all this liquidity, but my question is this. For one thing, how are we going to get $750 billion in commercial real estate loans restructured, refinanced, when there's no lenders? Ultimately, that stuff does matter, and there's so much real estate that's underwater. You're going to have vacancies. You're also, I'm wondering where the jobs are.
So is this a bank story? You're saying the banks are not through. It looks for so much improvement from banks. Is that, tell me where you're colliding with Ned.
Well, here's the issue that I have with the banks. First of all, love Goldman Sachs. I don't care if it does run the country. I want to be long. But the commercial real estate has no equity in there, and so with all this deleveraging, all this shunning of risk, where are you? There are no lenders right now that are willing to loan on a piece of commercial real estate that's upside down.
But Ned Riley, just on the way out, you all are coming back, Ned. Okay, Dan may be right, but how does that affect technology or commodity stocks, for example? I don't see the connection there.
I don't see the connect either, because clearly the technology story that I've got is an international, global one, and has nothing to do with the commercial real estate. I do believe, and you're right, Mr. Fitzpatrick, there's going to be some problems in commercial real estate. But let's take it back 6 months ago. The world was coming to an end. Apocalypse now. Banks froze up. Credit markets froze up. We got through that period with good leadership of Bernanke, and I'm making king of the finance of Paulson for the last 10 years. He's the guy that started it, the recovery, and he did the right things. Well, and people shouldn't be critical of him right now. To me, he's my hero.
Even a banker can make money at a zero interest rate and a steep curve. We'll come back to this because I want to ask this whole group, after this phenomenal rally, okay, this is really the 7th straight day. Maybe it's time to take some profits. How much confidence do you guys have in the future? What about Washington policies? And are profits going to continue to rise? So there's a lot more to talk about. And later on, I got to look at this whole story about California. This is like no new taxes. Read my lips. I think it's an absolutely terrific story. It's called Taxpayers 10, Unions Nothing, and a little drill, drill, drill. My pal Steve Moore of the Wall Street Journal editorial page is going to tell us why California might be leading the nation. No new taxes. We'll go to the break. We'll leave you some nice charts to tell a bullish story. This is the Kudlow Report. We'll be right back.